Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel. Peter likes books. So when it's a Sunday morning, and you're up super early because you had a business meeting, why not do a Booktube video, is what I was thinking. And I was thinking, I am gonna start on the Sunday of every week. I didn't do it last week, but I'm gonna start doing it. I am going to do a update of what I've read the week before, because I started doing this last summer and I really enjoyed doing it. But then I can kind of keep track, and I want to be able to say, okay, I think what I'm going to do is this is the best book I've read so far this year, and then that I'll keep an ongoing list of what my best book of the year has been, if that makes sense. So let me just update you. On the 8th of January, on the 8th day of January, my true love gave to me More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. Okay, so I have read so far in 2017 three books. The first one I read was Hercule Poirot's Christmas by Agatha Christie, which I think I gave 5 stars. It was actually really, really good. And I'm just gonna do I don't do spoilers, on my channel, but I'm gonna do just a really quick review. It's a mystery that takes place at this estate out in the middle of nowhere, and it's a family mystery. It's really, really good. I think it would be best read during the winter. So yeah, and it's number 81 out of the Hercule Poirot novels, I think, something like that. If you guys know the Belgian detective that Agatha Christie writes about. The second book that I read was Cinder by Marissa Meyer, and I loved it, except if you watch my other video, I did not like the ending. And it's really the more I think about it, I gave it 5 stars, but I probably would give it 4, maybe 4.5 probably, because I think it's really unfair that it gives this cliffhanger ending. So it's really hard for me to give a definitive 5, because I feel I don't really know where it's gonna go or what's gonna happen next and those kinds of things. Does that make sense? Yeah, so I don't know what I think about that. And then the third book that I read this week was All the Missing Girls by Megan Miranda. And this was a mystery that I've seen all over the place last year, and I decided to finally just read it. And I love all of these kidnapping books and all those kinds of things, and these missing books and disappearances and murder mystery. I love all that. But it's always this girl goes away from her town, and then she comes home, and then she remembers being in high school and her old love and her family trauma. It's always the same story. I felt I read that with Songs of the Missing by Stuart Onan last year, and I also read it with All the Missing Girls by Megan Miranda, and then I also read it in The Morning Hours by Paula Trek-DeBoard. And the problem is that once you read something that's very similar and you read it done very well, like The Morning Hours by Paula Trek-DeBoard, anything you read after that seems like a comparison to that. Do you guys do that with books? I apologize for the rickety-rackety of the camera today. I'm on this really old road. But anyway, so it was good. I gave it 4 stars, but I have to say this. I got very, very bored about halfway through. If the last third was not as good as it was, I don't think that I would have given it 4 stars. I probably would have given it 3 stars, and I'm going to tell you why. The way that the story is told is very confusing. It's back and forth, and it counts down days, day 5, the day before, and honest to God, even being done with the book, I don't understand what she was doing with the counting. It doesn't make any sense to me. And she even explains it in the book why she does it, but it doesn't make sense. There's no rationale, when you look at how the days are, because it's always the day before. It's so strange. I think it's half the chapter is a certain day and half the chapter is another day. I don't know. I'm still so confused by it. So I gave it 4 stars. It's not a bad read. I think it's pretty good. It very much feels like a first novel to me by an author, and I looked and she has several books out, so I'm a little confused. And then I started listening on Audible last night, and I also have the book, but Adam Silvera is more happy than not. Oh! Okay, I literally started listening to this last night, like a half an hour before I went to bed, and I'm already halfway through it. Like, so many people have told me to read this book. It is so phenomenal. It reminds me a little bit of, like, it has, I was thinking of what's the word. It has, like, what's the word when you talk about cooking? It has, like, essences of Aristotle and Dante discover the secrets of the universe. Like, it feels a little bit like that to me. But I read some reviews that people say it's in the future. It's not in the future. They're like, I mean, it's just not. It talks about, like, bodegas in New York City, and it talks about, like, Halo, and it talks about Jaws being out at the time of the mother growing up, which means that she's my age, because Jaws came out actually before, I would have been like 2, I think, when Jaws came out. So she's got to be a little bit older than me. So it doesn't take place in the future. Like, I don't know who said that, but, like, that's not true. Anyway, it is phenomenal. And I still, like, it's funny because, like, with these kinds of books, I mean, I know it's an LGBTYA, but don't spoil it. I'm not there yet. Well, first of all, I'll just say this. The character of Thomas, I'm just absolutely, like, I've fallen in love with him already. I don't know. He just seems like such a sweet kid. And the main character, I like. I don't know. It just feels like a really fresh and, like, genuine voice compared to what's out there right now with a lot of young adult. Like, I feel like so much young adult is really, really trite. It's always like the boy who, you know, like, and this is in there, I won't spoil it, but, like, the boy who wants to be, like, the movie director and is in love with all these movies and is very kind of artsy and nerdy and geeky. But then there's always, like, these stereotypical characters in YA is what I'm so over. It's like, can we not come up with some original characters in YA? Like, seriously? I mean, like, if you walk through the halls of a high school, there's so many different kinds of kids out there that, like, why are we writing the same kind? We aren't writing about kids. We aren't writing about teenagers or young adults. What we're doing is we're writing to the reader that we think would be that kind of character in a book so that it'll resonate with them. And what's interesting about that is that, like, I meet teenagers all the time that don't fit that stereotype that love to read. So I'm like, can we please get away that do love to read. So can we please get away from that stereotype? Because there's all kinds of people that like to read. I mean, there's athletes that love to read. There's high maintenance girls that love to wear tons of makeup and do their hair that love to read. You know, that was like a huge issue in 2016 on what is a reader. Like, you know, we're so past the stereotypes of what is a reader at this point that, like, so many people love to read, and we should embrace that. As authors, can we please get away from these stereotypical characters, especially in YA? I'm so fucking tired of it. It's like there's so many different kinds of readers out there, you know? You don't just have to be a nerd anymore to like to read. Like me. Nerds are sexy, though. But anyway, but you know what I mean? Like, I would like to just read a really, really original character in a book. Like, something that I totally don't expect. I don't know. I think that's what was so refreshing to me about Dumplin' by Julie Murphy, because it was like, she was like, I don't know, I don't want to ruin it for anybody that reads it, but, like, she wasn't the nicest girl in the world. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like in books where you read about, like, the overweight girl, she's, like, kind of a victim, and everybody's always mean to her, but, like, Dumplin' wasn't like that. She was kind of like, could you step out of my shadow, please? Like, I loved her for that. She wasn't what I expected, and that's what I like, is when you, like, it's like watching the movie Juno, like, about the pregnant girl. Like, you didn't expect her to be like that. Like, Juno was such, like, this original character. Like, I want more original characters in books. That's what I want. So, if you guys have read some books that have, like, extremely original characters, please link it below, or please link it. Please put it in the comment section below. But this book, Stretch, in Adam Silvera's More Happy Than Not, is a really original character to me. I really like him. And I really like Thomas, too. And I really like Genevieve. I think the story is so well done. It's like one of those books, it just pulls me in more. I'm like adoring reading this book so much. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. How are you doing on your reading this year so far in 2017? Oh my God, what should I read next? I know I'm going to finish this book today, so I've got to start figuring out what I'm going to read next. Do you guys do that before you even finish a book? You're like, oh my God, what am I going to read next? So anyway, I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday. I have a new vlogging channel where I'm vlogging every day of my life. It's linked below. Please go follow it. That would mean the world to me. And I'm posting videos daily on my Booktube channel, on my main channel, on my vlog channel, and on my weight loss channel. I'm like crazy YouTuber. So I love you guys so much. Bye.